What's going on, guys? Pegasus, and I'm here with Joey Wheeler, the big homie, the homie, one of the goats of Psyframe. He's been playing something very, very interesting, and this is another lit locals profile. What's good, bro?
How you doing today, man? Just having some fun, playing some Yu-Gi-Oh, man.
And negating the living hell out of everything that ever happened.
Just tormenting people, you know?
So let's look into this young profile real quick.
So we got 3 alphas.
This one is the one that
That's the tutors. Just searches Psyframe. Any Psyframe card, period. So summons the driver. It's the same thing as Gamma. So, enough said. Everybody knows him.
So what is this cut now? So this is the effect negator.
This is the monster negator. Everybody knows him. Negate a monster effect, destroy the monster, special summon the driver.
And yes, just as a reminder, he's playing Psyframes, folks.
Yes.
Actual
yes.
Psyframe.
2 deltas. Delta is the spell negator. Rarely do you ever use this guy, but I like him just because it can negate any spell you need that opponent activates.
I can see people using it more because Striker just came back.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
You don't like 3 though? You feel like
I don't like 3. 3 is way too bricky. Just the same thing with this guy. You only need to play 2.
What does he do?
He does not negate battle, but when your opponent attacks with the attack with this monster and they attempt to attack you, you just blow them up and end their battle phase. So basically,
Balk,
yeah.
Yep.
3 drivers.
3 of the auto bricks.
Yep. This is the biggest brick in the deck.
Do you feel like 3 is the correct number?
It is the correct number in the deck by itself. It is the correct number. Also, using driver is a honest in the deck as well. So later on, I'll explain why.
I got you, but they may not know.
Yeah.
So.
Now for the non-Psyframe cards. Ghost Ogre is broken in this format. Just taking cards off your opponent's board allows you to maneuver. So like you can fake them out with a Gamma or something and then Ogre the next play, which stops the rest of their turn. 2 Veiler, basically the same theory as the Ogre. Fake them out, do something, and then just Veiler off the last play, stop them. Nice little tech. Now you say, why is he in here? Because Psyframes have a trap card that allows you to pitch and activate in the graveyard. So you basically can tutor using the trap card at any point in time.
You grab any Psyframe.
To grab any Psyframe card. So Eldritch just works beautiful in this deck because you can rip the fill spell off the board and then return the fill spell with Zeta and just keep playing, basically.
And they have a 3,500 beater on the field.
Oh yeah. Gaming people very quickly. Lancia.
Now, explain this card for why you play it. People know Lancia, but why do you play Lancia?
So Lancia, when I first started playing Psyframes, I realized that Lancia did a lot for this deck. It is basically the fill spell of Psyframes, except for it's not the fill spell. It stops your opponent from banishing, but then it stops your Psyframes from going to the banish pile at the end of the turn. So they stay on the field, and then you're allowed to use them on your opponent's turn. On your turn. So yeah, they stay.
Pro tip.
Yep.
And you can't be evenly.
Very much so, and I don't care about evenly. They do that, I'll win the game anyway.
Right.
All right. So some blowout trap cards. Torrential, you play it as a one-of, but it forces your opponent to activate stuff. And when they do, then you counteract with the Psyframe cards. We'll speed up here. Metaverse, you play 2 separate fill spells in Psyframes. If you don't, you're going to lose. Psyframes will get blown out by any deck if in the meta, period. 2 Psyframe trap cards, Overload. A friend of mine asked me why I wouldn't play 3. It breaks. If you play 3, you only want to see 1 in your hand, and you want to see the other in the grave, and that's it.
Facts.
And then there's this card. Back to the front. You use it with the the Psyframe field spell. You can target any Psyframe card in the graveyard, and then immediately summon it. And the field spell will activate the synchro using Psyframe monsters. So like if you're allowed to like outfox your opponent, outthink your opponent basically.
Well, now here's the card that you have repeated over and over, and now we get to read it. So what does this card do?
So 2 Psyframes hit the board, like Gamma and Driver. Immediately after they resolve and negate the effect, the field spell allows the monsters to be synchroed on at any point. So on your opponent's turn, on your turn, in phase, standby, it doesn't matter when it happens. This will allow you to synchro. This is the heart and soul of the deck. Only problem is, you don't want to play this card at 3 because you will brick on this card very hard.
And you have to, I got you.
So
you have to kind of have the space for the deck to keep flowing.
Right.
I got you.
Terraforming, that is your 3rd copy of your important field spell. This gets your Eldritch monster out of the graveyard. I mean, out of the deck. This card basically is a monster reborn from the deck. It just allows you to continue summoning monsters or dodging your opponent's cards.
And it combos with the field spell too?
Yeah, it's beautiful with the field spell.
They're all psychics.
Yeah.
Just in case you didn't realize that.
There's your 2nd field spell. Psyframes will get overran, and you have to play smart with this card. But when this card lands, the game is normally over because you've already taken control of the game.
I know you were talking earlier about it. There's another build where you play like multiple mines and droplets and stuff like that. But
Yeah, and it's pretty ignorant because they can't stop the mine coming down, and
you'll never get it off the field.
Makes no
anyway.
point at that point.
Right.
One of the most quiet but non-talked about cards in Psyframes, Psychic Field Zone. I've seen it every single Psyframe deck. They play this card at 2 or 1, and I'm not downing anybody, but you have to play this card at 3 if you're playing Psyframes.
Just a pure shove, yeah.
So basically, what it does is, if you have 2 banished Psyframes like Gamma and Driver, you can Psychic Field Zone. Put those monsters into the graveyard from the banish pile, and then synchro summon a monster of that level that's a psychic monster. So like instantly Omega, basically.
Right. Quickly.
Before he hits the field.
And there's not a single card in the game that can stop this card's effect, except like it being removed to the graveyard. There's nothing that stops you from doing this card unless they negate it from like a spell effect.
Yeah, I got you. Like a Delta.
Yeah.
He gains 400.
Card that just came out.
Why the hell are you playing this card?
Self-explanatory.
This card is trash. Why are you playing it?
It is so trash.
Okay.
To every deck with Psyframes. And let me explain why. So you have plenty of cards that you can actually pitch from your hand. This card does a couple of things. First of all, if you put out, say, Gamma and Driver, right? And your opponent goes, okay, I'll take your field spell off the board. You can't synchro and your Driver is going to get banished. You activate this card, you can go at the end phase of my turn, activate this card, flip these 2 cards face down. End phase resolves. They will attempt to try to banish themselves, but they can't because they're face down.
And the Psyframe say,
If it's face up, it will banish itself.
banish the face-up monster special summoned by this effect. That's very cheeky.
Yes.
It's very, very cheeky.
On the other hand, because this card discards, there's cards that you use in your deck, like, for say, this trap card. I discard this on my opponent's turn and book their monsters face down. I get an instant tutor search on my next turn.
So they never get to touch you anyway.
Because they never get to touch me. So I'll tutor search something else and use something like Zeta, the synchro monster, to put this back in my hand and then reset this card, and then you're done. Yeah.
Interesting. Getting a young extra aside, whichever you prefer.
Do the side real quick. Macrocosmos, Dified, they self-explanatory. I'm not gonna explain those. Harpy's Feather Duster, that blew me out of game today, man. Oh my God, this That's amazing.
Helped you pull through. I got you.
The other Psyframe card is a trap card, trap negator. Self-explanatory, does the same thing that Gamma and everything else does. It just negates traps. Self-explanatory. Everybody knows what this card does. I only play it at 2 because I play Macrocosmos and Di-Fi. I want different results, different cards that I can use.
Gotcha.
And I can reuse it with Omega, so it makes it a third.
But it's easy to make space for 3.
Right. These guys, it's like Maxi, except for its spells and trap. I mean, it's the monsters attack, and you gain life. All right. So, reason why I'm playing this is I went to Nats. The last time I went to Nats.
Wait. I just wanted to say, so you're playing time frames? Is that what you're playing?
Time
Okay,
frames.
Go ahead.
I side into these. This is one of my favorite side archetypes to use. But you basically just normal summon this guy. You tribute off the search, and then you banish him and special summon all in the same turn. And you can blow your opponent out with these certain cards.
Right.
These are the cards that hit hard. This card will knock any spells or traps off your opponent's field back to the deck. So it's absolutely retarded. This card will knock any monsters off your opponent's field and back to the deck. Synchro, extra deck, it doesn't matter. They're all gone.
And burn them a little bit. I got you.
Burn them for like 500 each. This card is the unfair card. If it does any type of battling, it will half your opponent's life points.
Right.
All right. 2 are
That last little extra deck.
blowouts.
Black Rose
Dragon. Life Gainer. All you do is banish 2 psychic monsters and gain 1,200 life.
See, how many times have you done that for time? Be honest.
It is cheeky. It's very cheeky. Then we have this guy.
Now, why this guy?
You can put any number of cards from your hand into the graveyard, and then he gains 700 per card that's sent. So an easy way to get over something that's big. Also, if he does any type of battle afterwards, you can put him into the graveyard, and then special summon 2 of the same cards that we used to make him, basically. So you can synchro into something else, basically. Then there's the boss monsters of Psyframes, Zeta. If there's an attack position monster, link summon, synchro summon, it doesn't matter. He can take it clean off the board. Exceed monsters, he kills them instantly. Spell and trap negate, self-explanatory. Getting into the H, everybody knows what he's used for. Send monsters off the field, burn your opponent, game, basically.
Facts. So you got all kind of ways to cheat people in time.
Oh, yeah. Omega, the boss monster of Psyframes.
This should be a 3, if he was actually a Psyframe only.
Hey, Konami, can you help me out now? Come on, put him back to 3.
Erotic.
Please, erotic, say Psyframes only.
And everybody's only playing Psyframes,
Yeah, there you go.
Facts.
And then one of my favorite monsters to use, Big Daddy himself. When I make this guy, I plan on winning. He attacks. He can attack twice. The first effect monster that he hits, he gains his attack for. So, like, I hit a guy for 5,600 today, and then smacked the second monster and dealt a ton of damage to him. And he can banish the monster if it activates his battle.
Yep.
Self-explanatory. If I normal summon something, I can just save it, basically. Blow up spells and traps. New card I put in my deck. She allows you to use your opponent's graveyard to special summon. I used her today. And on top of that, you're able to search any Psyframe card from your deck.
Very fair point.
And put it in your hand.
And the boss monster of the entire deck.
Lambda.
Lambda.
And what does he do? Everything.
He's the boss monster. Absolutely nasty. If this card stays on the field and your opponent can't get rid of it, it is game for a Psyframe player. If they don't get rid of this card, just pick up their deck.
Facts. Well, bro, I appreciate you for your Psyframe expertise.
Anytime. I love playing against meta because it's fun and it's easy. Like that deck.
I'm playing fucking heroes.
Fucking mint.
Here you go.
Buster Blader.
Here you go.
He's not playing Buster Blade.
He's playing some bullshit.